What's happening, sports fans? Thanks for sticking around to continue watching the San Diego Prep Insider High School Baseball Podcast. Semifinals edition, we're breaking down Division 4 for the next couple minutes. Christian Pedersen, David Ring, still here burning the midnight oil at the Canyonside Softball and Baseball Academy. That actually probably doesn't sound right for people that are going to watch this at all hours of the day. I apologize. You don't even know. Yeah, okay. Late morning, early. We bring you baseball 24/7, and we love it because it's the biggest time of the year. We are into the semifinals for, like I said, Division 4 now. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one side of the bracket, do the other side of the bracket. Our first game to talk about is Castle Park versus Holtville. Castle Park, to get here, had to beat High-Tech San Diego. Had to beat Holtville, had to beat Mar Vista. So Castle Park currently undefeated, having taken down two teams that got first-round byes. On the other side, Holtville, they got that first-round bye, then they lost to Castle Park, beat Kearney, beat Mar Vista to get back to that second game versus Castle Park. So Dave, what we've got now is a situation where Holtville has to get 2 wins, Castle Park has to get 1 win. Who do you see making it to the final?
Gosh, Castle Park is so hot right now. They got the best player in the
hot hand
in the league, and Emilio Luna. We've been talking about the guy all year, player of the year for the South Bay. I just think it's going to be extra tough for them to win 2 games, as hot as Castle Park is. I saw them hot at the beginning of the bracket, and they're still riding the hot hand. So I got Castle Park taking it all away.
So you're sticking with Emilio Luna and Castle Park, who I might want to make the argument not just for best player in South Bay, best player in this whole division. Definitely. Best player in, who knows how, there's a lot of ceiling there.
Very underrated.
Absolutely. Although I'll say this, another person or team that is underrated is the Holtville Vikings.
Yeah.
I have to go with them on this one, Dave. They're a 21-win team on the season, and like you said, it's just hard to get 2 wins. It's hard to get 1 win, it's hard to get 2 wins. You're talking about ultimately needing to play about 4 games against the same team to get this series win, a best-of-3 type series. I just think that Holtville has the extra little bit in their gas tank right now. On the other side of the bracket, we got San Pasqual versus Fallbrook. Let you know how they got here. San Pasqual, they had the bye in the first round, a win over San Diego Academy in the second round, a win over Foothills Christian in the third round to get them to this point. For Fallbrook, it's wins over Mission Vista out of that first round, then Fallbrook dropping one to Foothill Christian in the second one, and they have come charging back to beat San Diego Academy and beat Foothill again. So they are a team that needs 2 wins. San Pasqual only needs 1 win. Dave, I'm going to start first on this one. I'm going to take point. I think Fallbrook edges this one out. Now, it's going to require big games from 2 main studs. Colin Hoff and Joel Calhoun are the 2 guys for Fallbrook. But, Dave, they are both hitting over 350 each. I like big-time hitters in big-time situations. And for me, that's what it boils down to sometimes, is you can look at tons and tons of runs, tons and tons of hits, tons and tons of Ks, tons and tons of strikeouts. But that's an aggregate thing. That's a whole season-long thing. I like big hitters in big situations, and I think that this pair has just enough left in the tank to get Fallbrook a pair of wins. How about you?
I don't know if you can beat the hitters on the team that I'm going to pick. These guys, there's 5 guys.
So you're taking San Pasqual?
I think 5 guys with 20-plus hits this year. I mean, going down the list, they got some impressive stats with Tuttle, Jackson, Aka, Fedok, Thomas, Sayers. I mean, these guys, that's an impressive feat. One of the things that I was most surprised about was how Fallbrook beat Foothills Christian. Very solid team. Interesting final here, but I definitely see San Pasqual hitting the ball right now.
There you go, a pair of split decisions. Just to remind you, we got Castle Park versus Holtville on one side of the bracket, with Holtville needing 2 wins, Castle needing 1. On the other side, San Pasqual, they only need 1 win. They are playing against Fallbrook. Fallbrook needs a pair of wins. These games are going down Tuesday and potentially Wednesday if need be. We will be back for you for a finals preview edition on Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. And stick around for Division 5. Bounce back to the other divisions if you're just coming into this. Christian Pedersen, David Ring. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with our Division 5 preview. What's going on, sports fans? And I almost feel like saying Merry Christmas, or at least Happy Holidays, because it is time for the CIF baseball semifinals. This is we're in the home stretch of the home stretch.
Big time of year.
best sport for our city, best playoffs, best teams, best one I've seen in a couple of years, Dave.
This is great.
This one we're talking about Division 5. We've got the semifinals. I mean, I think that it's needless to say there's been some surprises, and there's been some extreme offensive output. So without further ado, our first game that we will be talking about is Tri-City Christian versus Southwest SD. Dave, cool if I give everybody a little bit of recap how we got to this point?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so Southwest SD, they're coming out the losers bracket. They got the bye. They beat Morse. They dropped down, had to play Tri-City Christian, so they lost to Tri-City. Beat Morris the second time. They're back here. Tri-City Christian, they are coming out of a win over El Cajon Valley, a win over Lincoln, and a win over Southwest San Diego. So, Dave, this is now a situation where Tri-City needs 1 win. Southwest San Diego needs 2 wins to get to the finals. Give me a little bit of insight on this matchup.
Gosh, I really like Tri-City. They've played some good baseball this year. I mean, they beat Lincoln. They've beat Southwest SD already. I'd like Tri-City Christian in this matchup just because they played some really good games this year. It's going to be an interesting game, though. This is coming down the wire.
I'll play point counterpoint with you today, and I will take Southwest San Diego, at least for that first one, if not for both of them, Dave. I think that what we're seeing in the playoffs right now is from day to day, there are very different results. And there are teams that one lineup and matchup works, one lineup and matchup doesn't. But I think that it's just hard to straight up beat a team back to back. So I think Southwest can get at least 1 win. If not, I really like their chances at getting both wins.
Yeah, equal amount of losses. This is a very tough pick. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tri-City comes out on top here.
On the other side of the bracket, we have Mountain Empire playing Calvin Christian. Mountain Empire, to get here, they had the bye in the first round. They beat Vincent Memorial in that second round. They beat Calvary Christian, and now they are on to the semifinals. Calvin Christian, they beat Liberty Charter. They lost to Calvary Christian. They beat Calvary Christian. They're here to play Mountain Empire. Now, Dave, first off, I know that you want to start out with a little bit of shout out for some heroics on the part of Calvin Christian to get here.
Definitely. Well, I mean, they had a 10-0 win, a grand slam by Bryce Loviza, and a no-hitter pitched by Zeke Shockley. And this was game 4, or excuse me, this was game 3. So game 4, I'm not sure who they're going to pitch, but I mean, an outstanding season for Zeke Shockley. I mean, he's put up some serious numbers. I'm going to take Calvary Christian in this team. Calvin.
Yes,
Calvin Christian.
Real hard having both of those in the same bracket.
Calvin Christian in this game. They're playing the hot hand right now.
Dave, couldn't disagree with you more on this one. You want to talk about the hot hand. Mountain Empire started off this tournament with 22 runs in their first outing.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness gracious me. That's crooked numbers galore. So right. I have just no reason to pick against Mountain Empire, especially because they're the home team in this one, and that is a brutal drive. I've made that as a coach. It takes something out of you.
Definitely.
And it's also a different field. It's a little bit higher elevation. Air's a little crisper. It's got enough of a home field advantage that I think that is way, way, way too hard to overcome. But that being said, it's baseball, and things happen in baseball that you can just simply never account for. That's why we are not the end-all be-all of San Diego high school baseball. Folks, thank you so much for sticking with us through all of the divisions. Go back, go forward, check them all out, bookmark them. So that's when they said that we were going to lose and we didn't. So yada, yada, yada. Thank you so much for being with us all season. The next time you see us, it's going to be finals. Or it'll be pre-finals, and then we'll do one at the finals. I'm sorry, it's a late night. We've just been doing baseball nonstop, not sleeping, not thinking, not anything else. Christian Pedersen, David Ring. We will see you next time, sports fans.